So what was the term which I used, that these misfolded proteins, they are removed from the body so that they do not accumulate in the body? How is it removed? By apoptosis. Okay, which I told you, it can be physiological as well as pathological, right? So if these proteins, these abnormal proteins, if they accumulate in our body, then they can lead to amyloidosis. Okay? Yeah. So now coming to what are amyloids, okay? So coming to amyloidosis, it is a condition associated with a number of inherited and inflammatory disorders, okay? So it is caused due to extracellular deposits of fibrillar proteins, and it can lead to tissue damage and functional compromise, okay? So the normal body function will be compromised. So now these abnormal proteins are produced by aggregation of misfolded proteins, as I told you all just now. So now coming to the physical nature of this amyloid. So it was first described by the scientist called Rokitansky, and subsequently it was named by Virchow as amyloid, okay, meaning starch-like. But actually amyloids are composed mostly of proteins, okay. So now, although Virchow described it correctly, it was subsequently demonstrated that the principal amount of these amyloids were composed of proteins, okay. So coming to the ultrastructure of amyloids, it is made up of continuous non-branching fibrils of indefinite length. And each fibril, they are composed of double helix of two beta-pleated sheets in the form of twin filaments, okay. So each fibril of amyloid is composed of two filaments, okay. And diameter of this fibril is approximately 7.5 to 10 nanometers. And X-ray crystallography and infrared spectroscopy may demonstrate a characteristic crossed beta-plated sheet conformation. And this conformation is responsible for the distinctive staining and birefringence of Congo red stained amyloid. So I'll be explaining it later on. So now this is the structure of an amyloid, okay. So what I told you all, that the amyloid is a fibril which is composed of a double helix beta pleated sheet, right? So this is the twin filament which you are seeing, okay. So now multiple of these fibrils, they stack up together forming this amyloid protein. So it is a misfolded protein, okay. So coming to the chemical nature. So as I told you that the principal component of an amyloid is protein. So 95% of the amyloid is composed of fibril protein, and the rest 5% is composed of P component and other glycoproteins, okay. So now the three most common amyloids which we see are the amyloid light chain, that is the AL type, yeah, then amyloid associated type, which is the AA type, and beta amyloid. Okay, so coming to the AL type, which is the amyloid light chain, okay. So it is made of complete immunoglobulin light chains and the amino terminal fragment of light chain, or both. ठीक है? And it is produced from free immunoglobulin light chains secreted by monoclonal population of plasma cells. So this is a very important component, or a very important amyloid which is secreted in plasma cell neoplasms, okay. So in plasma cell neoplasms, when you all will be studying plasma cell neoplasms, you all will see that we will, like in plasma cell patients, we usually advise them for a serum or urine amyloid light chain study, okay. So if we get this amyloid light chains, then it is suspicious of a plasma cell neoplasm, okay. So coming to the AA type, that is the amyloid associated type. This is derived from unique non-immunoglobulin proteins, okay, and it is seen mainly in inflammatory states, that is especially in chronic inflammation. So since it is secondary to chronic inflammation, it is also known as secondary amyloidosis, okay. Then coming to the amyloid beta type. So this mainly constitutes the core of cerebral plaques, which is seen in Alzheimer's disease. In last class, I had told you all that accumulation of these misfolded proteins can cause diseases like Alzheimer's. So Alzheimer's, they keep above, we will see deposition of the A beta type. Okay, and these A beta type proteins, they are also deposited in the vessel walls of the cerebral blood vessels. Okay, so in individuals with Alzheimer's disease. So coming to the other glycoproteins, you need not remember all the names, just make sure you'll remember the few important ones. The first is the transthyretin, that is the TTR, then beta 2 microglobulins, then serum amyloid P component, which I told you it makes the 5% of the amyloids, okay? And also the prion proteins or the procalcitonin, okay? These are a few types which you should remember the names. So coming to the TTR. So TTR is responsible for binding and transportation of thyroxine and retinol. Okay, so as the name suggests, it is transthyretin. Okay, so transport of thyroxine and retinol. So this is mainly genetically determined, and if there is any mutation in this TTR gene, then that patient will suffer from familial or hereditary amyloidosis. Okay, and normal TTR is deposited in heart of aged individuals. Okay. Next, coming to beta microglobulin. So beta microglobulin is a component of MHC class 1 molecules. MHCs you all will study when we are doing complement system. Okay, so membrane histocompatibility complex class 1 major histocompatibility, class 1 molecule. So this is a normal serum protein, and this is mainly seen in patients who undergo long-term hemodialysis. Okay, in dialysis patients, which type of protein will you get? You will get beta microglobulin. So these are all MCQs. Okay. Then comes prion proteins. Prion proteins is seen in a condition called Prions disease, okay, which is a central nervous system disease. Okay, so when there is abnormal accumulation of these misfolded prion protein in the extracellular spaces, it will lead to your Prions disease. So now coming to the pathogenesis. So in the pathogenesis, what we are seeing, as I told you, these native proteins, they form amyloid after they stack one upon the other. Okay, so your fibril protein is formed, which is the main component of your amyloid. So now in primary amyloidosis, there will be which type of deposition of amyloid? AL type, I told you all just now, right? So these are mainly secreted by the monoclonal plasma cells, okay, monoclonal population of plasma cells. So this will lead to the formation of AL type protein. And then comes secondary amyloidosis, which I told you is secondary to chronic inflammation. Okay, in chronic inflammation, what will happen? Your macrophage will get activated, so they will secrete interleukin 1 and 6, and this type of protein is mainly produced by the liver. Okay, so this will cause the formation of your AA type, that is amyloid associated protein. Okay, and coming to the last one, which I told you, ATTR protein, which is the transthyretin. So this is mainly seen, as I told you, in genetic conditions like hereditary amyloidosis or in senile cases, okay, in aged patients. So now coming to microscopic appearance, how an amyloid will look on microscopy. So in formalin fixed sections, like which we get in our biopsy specimens, like after fixing it with formalin, we will see homogeneous eosinophilic material on the H&E stain. Okay, so it will appear, eosinophilic is what color? Pink color. So it will appear pinkish on the slide. Okay, so that time we will suspect that this can be an amyloid deposition. So we have to go for special stains. Okay, so now as I told you, it will appear your eosinophilic homogeneous material. Then on iodine stains, these amyloid deposits will be deep brown in color. And remember, iodine stains are done in fresh tissue, okay, not fixed tissue, okay. In like fresh tissue, usually where we get it in normal saline, okay. Whenever a tissue you take out from the body, you have to put it in normal saline, it is coming to you fresh. On that only you can do an iodine stain. So in iodine stain, these amyloid deposits will appear deep brown. On further treatment with sulfuric acid, it turns blue-violet. Next, there are a few metachromatic stains. Few names just to remember: crystal violet, then formic acid crystal violet technique. So here the amyloid will be red to purple or purple to red. Okay, the amyloid will be red to purple or purple to red, and the background tissue will be clear or blue. So now coming to the Congo red method. Congo red stain is the most common stain which we do it in our laboratory. Okay, so Congo red ki hobe? Congo red, the amyloid will look orange red in color. Okay, and remember one more thing, these Congo red stain slides, when we see it through polarizing microscopy, it will show an apple green birefringence. ठीक है? Just remember this term, apple green birefringence on polarizing microscopy is of amyloid deposit. Okay. So now just remember one more thing, that KMNO4 Congo red is mainly used to distinguish between AL type and AA type of amyloid. So next, now it is more advanced. So you have IHC stains as well, immunohistochemistry. So these are the special immunohistochemistry stains which are present. So these are specific for AA protein, then your light chain proteins, that is the kappa and the lambda chains, then amyloid P component, pre-albumin and beta-2 microglobulin. So these are the specific stains. If you do IHC for these, you can determine which exact type of amyloid has deposited in the body. Okay. So now classification. So classification are of mainly the two broad headings are your generalized type or the systemic type, and your localized amyloidosis. Localized amyloidosis means it is affecting one single organ. Okay. But generalized is multiple. ठीक है? So now coming to the classification, just remember this table. This table will be enough for you guys. So in generalized, as I told you, in primary amyloidosis, the most common amyloid is the AL type. Then secondary amyloidosis, which is associated with your chronic inflammation, will show deposition of your AA type amyloid. And in hemodialysis associated amyloidosis, you will see the beta-2 microglobulin type. Okay. So now in localized amyloidosis, what will you see? The senile type, which I told you, seen in Alzheimer's disease, that is A beta. Then your thyroid, as I told you, calcitonin, the A-cal type amyloidosis, which is seen in medullary carcinoma of thyroid. Okay. And also this islet amyloid type peptide, which is seen in patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus. And coming to the familial type, you will see the AA type, which is seen in the familial Mediterranean fever. Then the ATTR type, that is the transthyretin type, which is seen in patients with senile amyloidosis or familial amyloidotic neuropathy. Okay. So this chart, if you remember, I think that will be enough for you guys at this moment for MCQ as well as your theory. But the same thing is explained in the following slides. So just go through these slides, okay, once. So now coming to the process of amyloidogenesis, like how these amyloids are deposited, as I told you previously also, there will be the primary, the structure or mutation. That is, I told you there might be a mutation in the gene, which is the TTR gene. Okay, if there is a mutation in the gene, then it can lead to amyloidosis, or there may be a excess amyloid precursor synthesis. Okay, there can be excessive synthesis, or there can be proteolysis, which will lead to these deposition of amyloids. So what can it lead to? So it can cause, like I told you, these amyloids, they get deposited in multiple organs. Like, so if they get deposited in the tongue, they might cause macroglossia. Okay, that is, the tongue will look bigger, okay, larger. And then it can also deposit in the endocardium, that is in the heart, leading to abnormalities, okay, conduction abnormalities, and it can cause pressure atrophy of the parenchyma, which is seen mainly in the liver, then your kidneys, then spleen, okay, and also in the blood vessels, as I told you, in cases of cerebral amyloidosis, okay, where you see the amyloid deposition in the cerebral blood vessels. So now organ involvement. So multiple organs can be involved by AL type, like your amyloids. So most common amyloidosis is seen in the kidneys, okay. So most common and most severe organ involvement is seen in the kidneys. So grossly, that is what you will see with your naked eyes. Grossly, you will see that the kidney is normal in size, but or color, and may be enlarged or shrunken and pale in color, okay, pale looking kidney. So this is how the kidney looks in a case of amyloidosis, okay. নর্মাল অ্যানাটমিতে কিডনি দেখে এসছো তো, হ্যাঁ, তো এটা নর্মাল লাগছে দেখে, হ্যাঁ, তো দিস ইজ হাউ আ কিডনি উইল লুক if it is affected by amyloidosis, okay. So microscopically, as you are seeing, this is a glomerulus of the kidney, and you are seeing this pinkish material. Can you see these eosinophilic deposits? So H&E stain kole, we can see this eosinophilic material only. So this, we will describe it as some eosinophilic material which is showing thickened basement membrane like this, we can say, but we cannot surely say that this is amyloid. So we have to do a special stain on this, okay. So this is again, you can see the basement membrane, all these, this is the glomeruli, okay, the normal glomeruli, not a normal glomeruli, but a glomeruli which is showing a lot of pinkish deposits, okay, in the kidney. So now this is what an apple green birefringence looks like, okay. Once we do a Congo red stain on that slide, we will see on polarizing microscopy, we will see this apple green color. So then we can confirm that this deposit was a deposit of amyloid, okay. So next, coming to spleen. So spleen e ki hoy? Remember, two type of things are seen in spleen, that is the SAGO type and the Lardasius spleen, okay. If anyone asks you that where do you get SAGO spleen or Lardasius spleen, your answer will be amyloidosis, okay. So in SAGO spleen, what will happen? You will see these multiple white nodules, okay. So this will look like multiple tumors, but actually this is a amyloid spleen, okay. So multiple, so sabudana kemon dekhte hoy jano to, huh? So SAGO spleen comes from that thing only, okay. So when amyloid is deposited in the splenic follicles, that time it leads to SAGO spleen, okay. And if the amyloid gets deposited in the splenic sinuses, lead to a Lardasius spleen. So this is what a Lardasius spleen will look like. Just remember the two terms, SAGO and Lardasius spleen. So here you can see that this is the splenic parenchyma, and these are the splenic sinuses which you are seeing. So now here also again you are seeing this eosinophilic material on H&E stain, which is suspicious of amyloid, but on apple green birefringence, on polarizing microscopy, we see these apple green birefringence. So again we can confirm it as a splenic amyloidosis, okay. So next organ is the liver. So again, grossly the liver will be normal in color or in size, and it may show marked to moderate hepatomegaly, okay, means increased size of the liver. So now this is how an amyloid liver looks like, okay. So this is amyloidosis of the liver, and again you can see this liver parenchyma is showing these pinkish deposits. Again on apple green birefringence, you are seeing this on polarizing microscopy, okay, you are seeing this apple green deposits, ঠিক আছে, বুঝতে পারছো তোমরা, হ্যাঁ. So again this is also a liver parenchyma showing eosinophilic deposits. Similarly, another picture showing the same, this is the liver parenchyma, and these pinkish ones are the eosinophilic deposits, okay. So next is the heart. So heart, I told you that it is a major organ involved in senile systemic amyloidosis. Heart e বয়স্ক পেশেন্টদেরও আমরা deposition of amyloid দেখতে পাই, ঠিক আছে. So again, this is the heart, and you are seeing all these amyloid pinkish deposits. This is the muscle fibers, okay? These are the muscle fibers in which you are seeing these pinkish deposits. So now the other organs which are responsible, like which can be affected by amyloid, are the adrenals, the thyroid, the pituitary, and the GIT may be involved at any level, okay? Then as I told you, nodular deposits may appear in the tongue, which can lead to your macroglossia. Then in respiratory tract, কিছু বলছো? From larynx to the small bronchioles, the respiratory tract may get involved by amyloidosis. Then in Alzheimer's disease, I told you in the cerebral parenchyma, you all can see these amyloid deposits along with affecting the blood vessels, okay? And long-term hemodialysis patients can also have amyloidosis, okay? So this is the amyloid you are seeing in the adrenal gland. This is the adrenal parenchyma where you are seeing this pinkish deposit, as well as the blood vessels are all involved by amyloid deposits, okay? These are the vessel walls which you are seeing. Then this is a marrow involvement, okay? The bone marrow you are seeing which is involved with amyloid. Okay, marrow te kokhon dekhba amyloid deposit? Primary amyloidosis most common cause ki bollam ami? AL type কখন ডিপোজিট হবে? কজ একটা কারা সিক্রিট করে AL টাইপ অফ, in plasma cell neoplasms. I told you, na? So when in plasma cell neoplasms we can see this deposition of AL type amyloid in the bone marrow as well. So this is the Alzheimer's disease. This is a thioflavin stain where you can see these brown deposits of amyloid. Then in cerebral blood vessel, this is a blood vessel which is affected by amyloid, where you are seeing deposition of pinkish eosinophilic amyloid in the blood vessel. On polarizing microscopy, it appears like this. ঠিক আছে? Apple green birefringence on polarizing microscopy. Then this is a nerve where you are seeing these small dots, right, of pink eosinophilic material. So again you will suspect amyloid. So when you go for polarizing microscopy, you are seeing this bright nodules, okay, in the nerve. So this is causing a neuropathy, okay? So again you are seeing these deposits on the nerve. This is the in the heart, I think, Okay, apple green birefringence showing amyloid. So this is a case of prolactinomas. As I told you that your pituitary gland can also be affected by amyloid. This is a picture showing a prolactinoma where you are seeing these eosinophilic deposits. So again, these are the globules which are the amyloid globules seen in your prolactinomas, okay? This is a picture on polarizing microscopy. And this is a case of medullary carcinoma of thyroid where you are seeing these eosinophilic materials which are deposited all through the tumor, okay? So medullary carcinoma of thyroid will secrete what type of amyloid? ওই চারটাতে ছিল, ACAL type, okay? So it is calcitonin, okay? Okay, so now coming to the lab diagnosis. So how will you diagnose in laboratory? Okay, so in AL type, that is the primary type, what will you send? You will send a serum sample or a urine sample, and you will look for the light chains, okay, the kappa or the lambda chains, okay, doing electrophoresis. And what else you can do? You can do a bone marrow biopsy or a biopsy of the tissue, as I told you. If you take out a biopsy of the tissue, then you will see amyloid. Again, you will do special stain on that is the Congo red stain, and you will see it on polarizing microscopy. So this is how you will diagnose your primary amyloidosis. Primary amyloidosis bone marrow biopsy কেন বলছি? কেন this primary AL type amyloid is seen mainly in patients with plasma cell neoplasms. So that time you have to go for a bone marrow aspiration and biopsy. ঠিক আছে? Coming to the secondary type, যেখানে secondary type is associated with what? Your chronic inflammation. So here you will send a serum sample where you will get an elevated serum amyloid A. So the AA type, that is the amyloid associated type. So if there is an elevated serum amyloid A, then you will suspect that the patient is having a secondary amyloidosis. Okay. So again, as I told you that IHC is there, so you can do IHC or special stains on the tissue specimens. And your familial type 1 is mainly due to your TTR gene. So if the patient has a mutation, so you have to go for genetic analysis, okay, to find out the mutant gene. Okay. So again, I told you diagnosis, you can go for biopsies, or you can, like after biopsy, you can do a special stain and you can look for amyloid through polarizing microscopy. Okay, so this is your amyloidosis. Any problems? Any questions? Anyone? বুঝতে পেরেছো তো amyloidosis? So it can come as a short topic or short note, short question, or your MCQs. Okay, so there are multiple MCQs which can come from this topic, as well as amyloidosis itself, it can come as a short note. So যখন amyloidosis আসবে short note এ কি লিখবে? Definition লিখবে প্রথমে. First is definition. Whenever you write a short question answer, always first is definition. Okay, followed by, yes, as I told you, the physical nature, the chemical nature, then the types, your pathogenesis, your classification. And classification যখন দেবে, you give the examples. Okay, what all amyloids are there and where you will get. ঠিক আছে, একটু এক্সাম্পলস দিলে ইট ইজ সাফিসিয়েন্ট। ওকে, অ্যান্ড योर মেজর অর্গান ইনভলভমেন্ট, এগুলো তোমার সব এমসিকিউজ আসতে পারে। ঠিক আছে, যেমন দেখালাম।